Baruch Hashem, today is Motzei Chaf Beis Cheshvan, Ardel Chaf Gimel. We're going to learn Amud Kuf Samach Zayin, Kuf Samach Ches. We're going to start here. V'hini l'havin ma'u b'china zu ha'nikra ein soif. Talking about the machlokes again, with the argument if Keser is part of the Esses verse or not. And then we had an argument in what the meaning of Ein Soif is. Is Ein Soif talking about Atzmos, or Ein Soif is some intermediate place? And we have Samach Vov over there with our Arizal, where there's a Tachtonish Ein Soif, and then according to that we can understand what our Arizal means when he says that there's a B'china Tachtonish b'Ma'atzil. Let's talk about it a little bit more. To understand what this Ein Soif. First, why did the Ramak want to say that Ein Soif is Atzmos? Why couldn't the Ramak also say like the Mekabalim and later the Arizal that Ein Soif is talking about another level? And also to understand why the early Mekabalim had to say Lemar Shakeser on Nikra Ein Soif. Why did Mekabalim have to say that it's not actually Ein Soif, rather it's a Keser? V'ininu Tini Ksiv Ani Avai Lo Shinisi Shalo Yeshum Shinu Klam Mitzad Tzavas Olmos. Nothing changes the Eivishter Mitzad Olmos. K'maymer Atu the Eivishter is Ashloi Nivrelam V'Atu Chul. V'hainu She'enik Ma'an Neshama Shem Chayis Aguf. It's not like the Neshama in the body. Which it gets excited and change and accepts changes from the body. Because it's enclosed in the guf. The various strengths of the soul, potentials in the soul, seichel and midas, are enclosed. The neshama is enclosed in it. Which they're the atzmos anefesh in comparison to the levushim. The koiches are actually in the Ivri Aguf, and therefore gets changed by the body. Some smaller and big. The actual big and small is physically seen in the limbs, in the body of the person, but that makes a difference in the koiches as well. Even that's one nefesh which isn't actually enclosed in the guf, and therefore maybe isn't directly affected by the shinuyim. Ve'ein bo shinuyim the katnus and gadlus. There's still chat on the guf and someone limited in the guf. The neshama can only be mechayah one guf at a time. There's some limitation or gating around the neshama and the body. The Eibishter keeps the whole world alive. The Eibishter is not enclosed in it at all. With the words of the Eibishter. Shemayim Nasu, the heavens are made of Ruach Pivam with the spirit of his mouth, called Tzvam. And that's it. The Eibishter is not enclosed in it at all. How are we saying Dvar Shemayim? Dvar Hashem. That there's some level of the Eibishter. Just like, for example, a person. When you speak to someone else, it's in no way that's some of the soul. It's only the external part of the soul. You could speak and speak, nothing is it doesn't diminish anything from the soul, from the nefesh. Nothing's lacking. We can even see this in the koiches, which is even within the person. The koiches don't make it diminished at all. The more koiches you have, doesn't change anything that's a nefesh. When you give over seichel, or you give over different attributes, chesed, for example, the koiches are also just a shine or an aura from the nefesh. What the dibur that we're talking about here, the speech, so it's more external. Doesn't even make a difference in the koiches, which are in themselves don't make a shinui that's a nefesh. So it's like two steps removed. The ear that comes from speech is totally external. It's totally external from the soul. The dibur is in no way part of the etzem hanefesh. So it's like a mushal. It's like a mushal where the Eibishter's Dvar Hashem in the world is exactly the same way. For Iker, the general life that comes down to the world, that's from the speech of the Eibishter. It's like speech of a person, which is not that it's an external shine. If you want to actually talk about Atzmos for a second, it's in no way at the same level of the worlds, and it's not shaykh to enclose itself in the world at all. The Atmos inside Kaddish Muvdal, the actual Etzem of the Eibishter is totally separated from the world. The Einim Slavish Kalba'am does not enclose itself in the world at all. Only the speech of the Eibishter, Slavish Ba'ilmus, gets enclosed in the world to create them. Therefore, the more worlds or the more chayes that goes in the world makes no difference to the Etzem. Why not? Again, like the speech of the person. It's only an external shine. The level of Atmos remains surrounding. Does not enclose in the world. It's only in a level of surrounding in a way that's not mislavish at all. And that's what it says. Ani mamash mali. The Eibishter himself is mali. The less asar ponim mineg. There's nothing. There isn't a place which is empty of the Eibishter. Actually, any mislavish or nitbas, but the Eibishter is just not enclosed or grabbed in by them. But the Eibishter is taking mali everything. By understanding this of Ani Hashem lo yishinisi, and this definition where there is an aura of the world of the Eibishter everywhere, but it's not mislavish anywhere because there cannot be a shinui anywhere in the Eibishter, and if it would be mislavish, maybe there could somewhat to say there's a shinui. So we can understand the Ramak. The Pirush Ein Sof Nikra Motzav Atzmus Shel Habarei Mamash. Ein Sof has to be the essence of the Eibishter. Kol Ma Shenetzal Mimenu Lo Nikra Klal Ein Sof. And anything that comes out that's emanated from the Eibishter, that cannot be Ein Sof. The time boy. The reason is Ki Ein Loimer Lashon Ein Sof. You cannot say the word Ein Sof. Shemoida Al Bli Gvul Mamash, which the Lashon Ein Sof refers to Bli Gvul unlimited. Rak all of these Barach Mamash. It's only about the Eibishter. Lo Yod Avram Mesuvav Mimenu V'Nimshach Mimenu. Not on something that is drawn away from the Eibishter. V'hu levadai, and only the Eibishter, v'hu levad, hakadmoin, ve'ein soif, is the first and the last. And the one that the kadmon we mentioned already, the thing that starts, and ein soif, and unlimited. Anything else that comes from the Eibishter cannot have the same characteristics or the same criteria. Kine ein soif, inin ein soif, u'beis dvarim. The idea of ein soif is two things. Let's explain what ein soif is. It spreads unlimited. The truth of this idea that it could spread unlimited, the kol etzem, even though every single etzem is built in this pash, it doesn't get spread around. The true idea of an unlimited ispashtus shayach rak b'chinas ha'atzmos. Something which is emanated or revealed from Atmos. Hagam the Sham Shaykh in his pashtus, even though it could be spread out, because it's not etzem anymore. They are not etzem on their own. Since they have a beginning, they have an end, a tichla mitzad themselves. Only by Atzmos itself we can say that it's really Ein Sof. Since it's the real, original thing. We cannot actually say that this pashtos actually happens b'li soif. In the concept of Ein Sof, which means Ein Sof L'Spashtusa here, we're saying in concept, because Etzem's talking not mispashet, but the idea that there's a possibility of an Ein Sof L'Spashtusa is only by the Etzem, because anything that comes out of it, because it has a Tchila, has a Tichla. Again, like Aval Mashin Nimtza V'Netzal Mito Yisbarach, had a Ein Shach B'M Chines Ein Sof B'Etzem. If it's had their own Etzem, it's not Sheikh Ein Sof. Kim Sheikh Chines Ein Sof B'Tzon Levad. They could be Ein Sof B'Tzon with the will of the Eibishter. The Eibishter wants them to be Nitzchim. B'meila, their whole Ein Sof is limited in the sense that the Eibishter wants it. Hanashe'ein loymar boy eze Indian prat. Sorry. K'moy ba'ar. Shu b'vchinas Ein Sof. B'mei shu mein amor. Or, which comes from a source which is unlimited. The Ur is also unlimited, but only because it's like it's Mar. But it's again, it in itself doesn't have this concept of Bli Gvul. The Bli Gvulness in it is only because it's Nimshach from the Mar. V'hainu, shekachu b'ritzon yisbarach. It's the Eibishter's will, she'yim b'chinas vekos, that it should be connected. Avlam tzadasim and on their own. So this Indian of Ein Sof, it's only shaykh by Atzmos. It's only shaykh because anything else is only Ein Sof, b'ritzon abari, not inside their own Indian. B'mele, you cannot call them Ein Sof. You could say they have the characteristic of Ein Sof, maybe, but the shame Ein Sof, which is murdered on an Etzem Adavar, which it in itself is Ein Sof, it's only Shaykh Hanatzos. V'abez, in an Ein Sof, shu Bli Gvul mamash. So one is Ein Sof L'Spashtusa, that it spreads out Bli Gvul. Another one that it's Be'etzem is Bli Gvul. Hanashe'ein loymer ba'eze in and prati ultara be'etzak bol hashiyah. Which means this particular thing is not a detail. It is a Bli Gvul. That is what it is. Loymer shu v'chinu madei kazu, that it's this type of thing. Oy v'chinu madei kazu. Afilu v'tarei in yanim v'yesem v'floim v'yeser nalim, even on the most abstract and highest in yanim. V'avle b'vchinas Bli Gvul b'vchinas Vul. We cannot even limit it to call it b'chinas Bli Gvul or Gvul. Ve'ein lishlo memenu shum davar. We cannot take anything away from it. V'areu noises hakoil. It includes everything. That's the idea of Ein Sof. It in itself has everything. Again, in potential, again, similar like the Spashos, which is not necessarily Papoil, even not in the potential that's like Poil, it could do it. So you can't take anything away from it, and it in itself is mushlo from everything. Its only way of describing it is Ein Sof Bli Gvul. V'zeh in Ein Sof, shlilas kol atarim, removing all titles, shlilas hagvul, removing gvul, shlilas habli gvul, shlilas hachiyuv, taking away positivity, shlilas hashlilu, taking away negativity, negating negativity, umele yesh ba'kolim, because you take everything away from it, it has everything. The kol zeh in shaykh b'chinas atzmos mamash mitzias mitzvos. So again, there's only shaykh by atzmos, shu hanimtza amiti she'enim b'chinas mitzias nimtza. It exists, not in a way of existence. Only there can you say that it's really Ein Sof, really this idea of no other tayar but Ein Sof. We could understand what we say in other places that you can't even call it Ein Sof. The Adrabah, Shem Ein Sof Kanal, who in Shlulas Kol HaTorah L'Gamrei. Trying to understand what he's saying over here. Ein Shaykh Lemer by Ein Sof. Can't even call it Ein Sof. Lefi Shein L'Tara. The Adrabah, l'chayret there Shem Ein Sof Kanal Shlilas Kol HaTorah. So Taka Ein Sof is the right thing. I'm not really sure. Yumta Shein Shaykh Lemer by Ein Sof Lefi Shein L'Tara. We can't say that it's Ein Sof because we can't describe it. The Adrab, Shem Ein Sof Kanal, we need Shlilas Kol HaTorah because that's the idea of Ein Sof removing Torah. Fine. Not sure I understood that. Look at it. Ava b'chinas ar Susan. B'zedach k'shayach Ein Sof. V'zeh yumtak. By understanding this, that Ein Sof is Shlilas Kol HaTorah. Yuvam she'ein shayach lemer by Ein Sof. Can't call him Ein Sof if she'ein l'tahara. Okay, I don't have to svarim here. I'm going to have to look at it soon. Aval b'vchinas ha'or. V'chol ma'asher ne'atzal mimenu. But in the or. and everything that comes out of the Ur in a Shaykh Lem B'chinas Ein Sof, B'chinu Adeg HaMitzvah Shabbat Zekanal. We cannot call it Ein Sof. The reality of what Ein Sof is. Nachliet Shiur Ben Amar Yesh B'Koich Amar. Stak has a Koich at the source, which Kasvek has a Kodesh. Divar Maskil Iwach Echad Sheish B'Gam Koyach Zeh. It even has this level Shemetziusai Matzmusa. The Ur even obtains this level of having the same characteristic of Metzius and Matzmusa Mitzad Advekus B'Mkara Me'ein Mekara. Fine Mashkas with Divar Maskil V'Yem Simchas Chum of Ma'adechem. So according to what he says over there in Tanya, you could say Ein Sof because it's Me'erd Me'en Amar. V'lchein is havas an very manly ashal day Erd B'Koich Ein Sof. Tanya B'chinas Erd Sof of Kalaman. For Makmachar time Sheev Shal Dis is havas Yashim B'chinas Mal Kalaman. It has to come from the Ur, which comes from this level of Ein Sof, which is Sof. If it can't come from Malif, which is Mal Kalaman B'chinas Bull. Umugda B'Gedark Bol Ruchnis, it's limited and defined in a spiritual limitation. After this says how it's gashmis. I feel the camera of obviously how many levels you go down. Yeah, come b'chinas ruchnis because you can't jump from ruchnis to gashmis. For that you need a koich ein sof to or the mitzvus matzmusay. Kim b'chinas sof of who is havs hayesh sheinu mugda b'gedak bol ruchnis dafka. It's not limited in this bol ruchnis. Tzel mash ruchnis v'gashmis shoving the fun of everything's equal. You cannot have b'chinas ein sof canal. Al v'kol ze ain't by mitzad aso. It's not in the or kim litzim ein mukare. Tzel she's havs a koich ein sof dafka. That's how the creation has to come from ein sof. Which is dictated by our case. The kodesh nadal shena atar like Alter Rebbe says over there in the guys kodesh. K'dei shiyah yesh hazeh nivra b'koich ein sof. Ba'al gvulumida nislavish or ein sof. V'tak has to have a slabjus of this or ein sof. And this is why Sharamakim Zal Yemoin Loimar Shein Ein Sof does not want to say the name Ein Sof. He does not want to say the name Ein Sof on anything that's drawn out of the Eibishter. Shlemar Kavanah B'chinas B'chlal B'chinas Eretz Netzal B'frat over there Chlal B'chinas Sof B'chlam Malakalamin Ki'im on any of these two levels of Eretz. Yeah, Ki'im B'chinas Atzmos Mamosh Hu B'chinas Ein Sof Amiti, because Dafka over there you can have these two levels of Ein Sof, one Ein Sof L'Yitzpash Tusay and one that's Shlilas Kal Tarim, and where you can have this idea of Yesh Mayim Ki'ine. It's not so there are, in a sense, the Ramak is 100% right over here, because you can say Ein Sof can only go on the Asmos. And as you see over here, Mash Kol Mash Nechkla Mekabal Merashenim Lemesh Hakesa Nika Gam Kin Ein Sof. V'chein Aramad the Pirish Harotz Nika Ein Sof. Hurakadei Lafar Shechanei Avalish Nisi. They're only coming to explain what we spoke about earlier today. Since Anei Avalish Nisi, so Atzmos cannot be Mislavish in the world. Shein Shum Shini Boris Baruch V'Nus Bazal Dei B'Res Ha'olam. How could all creating of all these worlds, these great how could they not make it different by the Eibishter? If you do this, have to go and save Dafka. Shulavade only the Eibishter Dafka because we call the Lavs Brand Yesh. If you get Echel Shnitz Klal, how can you say there's no difference? To create the world, to keep it alive. Even it has to be the same with all the malice we just said. It does not make any difference by the Eibishter's Asmos. Why? Because this Havas comes from Ratzon or Keser, something else, a different intermediate, a Mamutza. They didn't use the word Mamutza, but it's another thing coming from the Eibishter. According to the Mukabal Merashainim, that this Ratzon is the Ein Sof Mamash. Hainu according to them, this level has all these characteristics of Ein Sof itself on their own. So they say that this level of Shmoi existed before Brias Olam. Shmoi has the same level of Kadmoin. He brings down over there Keser Kadmoin Kekadmoin Ein Sof, Kadmus Ein Sof. Keser says earlier, yeah, even though it's an outcome from the Atzmos, it's that timing, there was no time that there was no Ratzin. The middle it has the same idea of Kadmon. This is what they hold. Sharatzin Keser hu b'chinas ein sof mamash, tolchen al yodam hu esavos. The Ramak argues very much ain't litin kadmos l'shum davar nim tzumena. No, you cannot say kadmoin on anything that comes out of the Eibishter. Kim elov yisbarach lavad. V'chenu b'emes, and that's really how it is. You can't say that. V'das Rabbeinu v'zal b'geres HaKodesh, she'tzavos adei or, and ha'or b'gilur, lo neshu b'chinas kazchas shon, the Alter doesn't say because kadmos, kim neshu mein amor, like we kind of started saying earlier, that there's this level of Ein Sof, that because it's Mein Amar, it has this, not this Kadmoin element, but this Ein Sof element. This is the Chiddush Alter Rebbe, the Or Nikra Ein Sof, Neshu Mein Amar. The Mekwamer, Shenim Daitam, the Shmoi Shur Ratzon, Ein Sof, it's at Atzman Canal. They have to say that Shmoi or Ratzon is Kadmoin on its own, or Ein Sof on its own. And in the Chiddush, no. Shmoi or so therefore it has the koyach to mahav and mechaya, and then maybe also it solves our problem of an eval shnitzi. We didn't explicitly say that yet, but al kolponim we don't have the same soif issue of something. Of something kadmon kekadmusay. Tanishum ein amor v'yesh ba'or hainaba or hakol ba'atzmus. There's this level b'chinas shu b'chinas kadmon kekadmusay yisbarach. Avazal mash ein b'chinas mitzias er klal klal. That's where there's no existence of at all. Whereas now it's Mein Amar. Or Mimela lo yikshal zekushas haramak zal, which you would argue that you're doing a kadmos kekadmon something else. Chumash yitzbar l'kamon v'dira masal kim chum karchayim. V'chein diye boi v'al yodam misafas ma'al yesh. V'im kol zeh einem atzmus umos haber mamash v'chinas hamshachas mental bad. It's only a revelation from. It's only a revelation from. From the Mar. Yeah, we'll stop here. Fine. I have to. Yeah.